Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Karen Clark Salinas, and I help ambitious working parents redesign how they manage their energy, how they work, and their family systems, all so that they can feel successful in work and life and reach their full potential. Now, if you're here, my guess is with it being the week before Christmas, also just a couple of weeks to the end of the year, end of the quarter, uh, you are probably running on fumes. And you're probably thinking, I just need to power through until the 26th. Then I can rest. But here's what actually happens. You collapse on the 26th. Your family still needs you. Someone gets sick. And by January 5th, you're expected to show up energized and ready for a fresh start on a new year. Except here's the problem. You never actually recovered. So let me ask, which describes you right now? A, already exhausted. B, running on fumes, but still going. Let me know in the chat with an A or a B. Let me know how you're doing. Hopefully you're still going, but I certainly understand how tired you are, and also just wondering, worrying maybe even, can you keep going? Can you get everything you need to get done? So which best describes you now? A, already exhausted. B, running on fumes, but still going. Let me know in the chat. Here's the question, though, that nobody's asking you. How are you taking care of yourself during and after this sprint? Not are you, but how are you? Because you can't experience the magic of the season that you're working so hard to create when you're running on empty. And how do I know this? I know this because I did this for so many years. It was my choice, but I also made it really hard on myself. And looking back, I now see there's some things that I could have done differently. So today, I'm going to show you a two-part system. One, micro recharges that you can do during the sprint up to December 26th, and then intentional recovery after the sprint. So between December 26th and January 1st. These aren't self-care tips. They are strategic energy management that makes this sprint sustainable and sets you up to actually end January with capacity, not just survive until the calendar flips to a new year. So let's start with part one, micro recharges during the sprint. What are they? Well, to me, they are 5 to 15-minute intentional breaks that restore 15% of your energy when it dips during a demanding day. So what is it not? It's not self-care tips to add more to your to-do list. It's not a spa day or a weekend getaway. We both know there's no time for that. And it's not one more should. Instead, micro recharges are strategic energy restoration built into your existing day. It's 15% more capacity for what's next in your day and week. And it's the difference between barely surviving and actually being present. So let's ask another question. What drains your energy fastest right now? Is it the back-to-back meetings with no breaks, or B, carrying the mental load at work and home? Tell me in the chat. A, back-to-back meetings. B, carrying the mental load. I talk with a lot of clients who, for many reasons, don't have full control over their calendar. And so people come in, schedule various meetings, and there's not even a buffer between the meeting they schedule and the meeting that went before it. And so the first thing is there's no margin for that previous meeting, that first meeting, to run late. And we know that that's a really common occurrence. But even if the meeting ends on time, there's no buffer before the next meeting to focus on what the next meeting is about, because you've already processed the important takeaways or action items for the previous meeting. Okay, so let's go back and let's keep going. So the next question is, what would restore 15% of my energy right now? Not 100%, because that's not feasible. And even under the best of circumstances, it can feel hard to be fully recharged after 8 hours of sleep. So it's not 100%. It's not a complete reset. It's just 15%, just enough to propel you into the next thing that's on your list and keep you making progress. So the impact of that 15% could be the difference between zoning out in meetings and actually offering strategic thinking. Could be the difference between snapping at your kids at dinner time and actually being present to hear about school that day. And it could be the difference between collapsing at 8 p.m. and having a meaningful conversation with your partner, something beyond the next day's transactional what's on the calendar, really connecting with your partner. So here's some examples of these micro recharges. So between back-to-back meetings, something that could take 5 minutes, maybe stand up, take a little walk down the hall, look out the window, notice something new. What activity is going on outside of you? Drink a nice big glass of water. Take 5 deep breaths where you're focused on your inhale and on your exhale. You might even actually inhale for 2 and exhale for 4. Okay, mid-afternoon slump. Maybe if you have 10 minutes, reset your workspace, meaning tidy up papers, notes, maybe close some tabs, whatever it is that will kind of freshen up your space to begin the next task, the next meeting. Maybe you can go just stick your head out, a door, get some fresh air, a couple of deep breaths. How about a protein snack? Or maybe even just listening to one song that you find really energizing. All of these things help take your mind off of whatever it was you were thinking about before, and also helps your body and brain physiologically get a reset, get a recharge. All right, what about during the after school transition? Maybe you have another 10 minutes. Get the kids to do something independently. That could even include a little bit of screen time. It's okay. Get yourself a break. Encourage them to do something that gives them a break before they maybe need to start on homework or get ready for an activity that they need to leave soon for. Take 10 minutes alone. Just go sit in your room, look out the window, close your eyes even. Closing your eyes is a way to help calm your nervous system. And again, maybe listen to some music, stretch, or just be silent. Last example for these micro recharges. How about post-dinner cleanup? Maybe you've got 15 minutes you can spend there. Ask your partner and kids to handle cleanup, especially if you're the one who did all the cooking. Maybe you can take a walk around the block. Maybe take the dog out for a quick walk. Or maybe just sit in a quiet room alone with a cup of tea. So let's see which micro recharge sounds most doable to you that you could experiment with this week. Is it doing something between meetings, kind of carving out, protecting those 5 minutes, wrapping up the previous meeting in your mind, and then getting ready to be focused on the next meeting? Or maybe it's post-dinner cleanup. What could you do to help yourself recharge before you move on to maybe helping with homework, facilitating bedtime routines, saving, recharging so that you connect with your partner? Tell me in the chat which one sounds most doable to you, A or B. All right. So now we're going to move on to part 2. We've talked about the micro recharges you can do all the way leading up to, say, December 24th, when it's really time to start implementing those activities that you've planned that create all the magic for the loved ones in your life. This part 2 is, what are you going to do? What can you plan now to do after Christmas that will help you recharge and recover to get ready for when the new year hits, when you return to work, and it's time to hit the ground running? So you need a recovery plan, because most people just think, I'll rest when I can. I don't know when that's going to be, but I'll find some time. But that's not a plan. That's wishing disguised as a plan. Here's what actually happens. December 26th hits, you're exhausted. Gifts, toys, need assembly, need setup. You're entertaining bored kids who are off from school. You're maybe even planning, what are you doing for New Year's Eve or New Year's Day? January 1 is supposed to be ready for goal setting and fresh starts. Kind of just this huge reset, starting a new year. January 5th, you're back to work, zero recovery, you're already underwater. That's not recovery. That's survival with different tasks. So, what usually prevents your recovery after a sprint? Is it A, family obligations and expectations, or B, is it work intrusions? What area, is it work or is it life, that really makes it challenging for you to get in a recovery after a big sprint? So there's three questions you need to ask yourself in order to uh, really design a recovery after a sprint. The first question is, what does actual recovery look like for me? Recovery isn't just sleep, it's energy restoration. So maybe it's physical rest, it's mental rest, it's social rest, it's sensory rest, it's movement, it's creative activity, it's connection. Knowing yourself well, what is it? What do you need to help you recover after all the effort that you put into the sprint? Question number 2, what needs to happen for you to claim the recovery time? Is it uh, at home? Is it saying, we're not hosting this year? Screen time limits are different than what they are during a normal week. Maybe saying to your partner, I need 3 hours just to myself on the 29th. What do you need in return? How can we both do some recovering after the sprint we've been through? For work intrusions, set an out of office, returning January 5th. If it's an emergency, please contact and give a phone number and email. This one, challenging but still doable. How about deleting notifications from Slack and email from your phone between December 26th and January 1? How could you really minimize uh, the distractions, the digital intrusions from work, so that you can get some space, get some recovery from the digital fatigue that occurs normally in a week? And then here's question 3. What are you role modeling for your kids? Your kids are watching how you handle a post-sprint period. They're halfway through a school year. They've been in their own sprint. Are you teaching them how to recharge mid-year? That it's okay to rest during breaks, and that sustaining performance requires restoration, not willpower. I believe that teaching our kids how to manage their energy, how to recharge, micro recharges, but also more recovery efforts after a sprint. It's a really important skill that we can teach them, and it starts early. And then they get to take charge of what that looks like for themselves in middle school, more so in high school. And they for sure need to know how to do that in college and in the working world. So this is a really prime opportunity to role model for them. How do they take good care of themselves? Okay, so we are now ready for your recovery plan homework. Step 1, Answer the 3 questions. What does recovery look like? What needs to happen to reclaim it? And what are you role modeling? What do you want to role model? Step 2, block December 26th through January 1 with specific activities, not just rest, something specific like 90-minute nap, read 1 hour, go for a 2-hour walk alone with the dog. 0 plans, no hosting. Step number 3, communicate the plan. Share it with your partner. Offer to exchange recovery time for your partner as well. Set an out of office response, and then decline obligations now. Let others know what you're available, what things you'd like to do, what things you're going to let go of this holiday season. And then step 4, give yourself permission. That's right. You give yourself permission. Recovery is strategic. Kids need to see you do it so that they can learn how to give themselves permission as they take on more responsibilities and achievements and goals in their own lives. And then give yourself permission because you can't tackle a new year, a new quarter without capacity. So before we close today, which step feels hardest? Giving yourself permission or actually claiming and protecting the time? They're both challenging, no doubt. Where are you in the process? If you need to give yourself permission, choice A, what do you need in order to be able to give that permission? What can you tell yourself? Or B, is the harder part literally claiming and protecting the time, putting it on the calendar, communicating it? Let me know in the chat, A or B, which one is most challenging for you? Okay, so whether it's giving yourself permission or protecting the time, both are skills you can develop for sure. And that's exactly what I help ambitious working parents do. So here's what I recommend. Join my free community called Rebalance You, and inside you'll find a replay of this session. You'll find my Power Hour system to help you reclaim 1 hour of focused energy daily that you can start implementing immediately, or certainly get ready to implement starting January 5th when you return to work, kids return to school. And you'll also meet like-minded parents there who are trying to accomplish similar things to you. And you can learn more about my Energized Leader program. So if you're interested, use this link, school.com/rebalance-you-jumpstart/about to join my free community. And I'll give you access immediately. And first thing you can do after you recover from your sprint is dive into my course about the Power Hour system. Thanks for joining me today. I wish you the very best. sprinting until the deadline of the holidays when you create the magic for those you love the most. And then I strongly encourage, give yourself the permission to do a full-on recharge after the sprint so you're ready and set up for success to start 2026. Take care.